Okay. So bringing yourself into a comfortable seat. Again, this could be in a chair, if that's more comfortable for you. It can be in cross-legged, in butterfly, in staff, whatever is the most comfortable for you. Bringing your hands just to rest on your legs to begin with. And you can either close your eyes or find a soft gaze. And in these first few moments, instead of trying to control anything with regards to your body, just observe. Maybe your breath is a little unsteady, or your posture isn't perfect. Check in with how you are feeling. Physically, mentally, and emotionally. Placing no judgment on anything that you notice, but just observing what is going on with you right now in this moment. And then beginning to take control of your breath. Instead of just observing, begin to deepen your breath. Feeling the inhales become a little bit longer. And maybe as your inhales become a little bit longer, you sit just a little bit taller to make space for that breath to come into your body, to nourish with fresh oxygen. And on your exhales, taking them nice and slow. And possibly noticing some areas of your body softening where tension is not needed on your exhale. Feeling the space between your eyebrows release. Allowing your jaw to relax. Continue to observe, and whenever you notice your mind wandering away from the moment, just observe that it has and come back into the present. You need to scold yourself or pass judgment. Just notice and come back. This time, if you wish, you can take a moment to set an intention for your class today. Could just simply be what brought you to your mat. Maybe it was some stress relief or some physical relief. The option is yours to set that intention. And then we'll take 3 clearing breaths together. Take a nice, big, deep inhale through your nose. And open your mouth, sigh out. Big inhale through your nose, fill 360 degrees. And exhale, sigh it out. Last big, deep inhale. And exhale, let it go. Coming back into a natural rhythm. This time, if you wish, you can keep your eyes closed or you can open your eyes. Taking your right hand, bringing your index finger and your middle finger down to your palm so that your ring finger, your pinky finger, and your thumb are still extended. If this is hard for you, that's okay. You can use 2 hands or you can use just the hang 10 symbol, whatever works for your hand here. We're going to do a little bit of alternate nostril breathing, or Nodi Shodhana. So bringing your thumb near your right nostril, so the fleshy part that covers the hole, and your index finger, or your ring finger over towards your left nostril. And we're going to exhale all the air out and cover your left nostril. So press the fleshy part so that the hole is covered. And inhale through your right nostril. Cover your right nostril with your thumb and exhale through your left nostril. Then inhale through your left nostril. And cover your left nostril and exhale through your right. Inhale through your right. And exhale through your left. Inhale through your left. And exhale through your right. Continue on at your own pace. If you find yourself kind of stuffy, if it's hard to breathe in one side or the other, you can always just relax your hands down and visualize breathing in one nostril and out the other, in through that same nostril and out the opposite. So this can be just a visualization. This is to equalize the energy between our right and left side of the body. Noticing how it feels as the air passes in one side and out the other. Back in that same side and out the opposite. Noticing any response within the rest of your body. Whether you feel any subtle changes. So you kind of equalize and shift that energy into neutral. So evening out both sides, where our final exhale would be out the right side. Take your time, there's no rush. And then when you're ready, extending your legs out in front of you, if you're not there already. And start by curling and flexing your toes. So instead of moving the entire feet, just the toes, and maybe spreading them nice and wide as far apart as you can. Just getting a little bit of movement through your toes. Then you can continue on with your toes, or you can just do the ankles. You can do toes and ankles, or just ankles. This is where we usually hear the Rice Krispies. And flexing and pointing, doing some circles, maybe a windshield wiper, whatever movement gets a little bit of blood flow through your ankles. Good. Then starting on the right side, slide your right foot in towards your right sit bone. Bend your knee into your chest. Then let it drop out to the right into a half butterfly. Extend your right leg forward with the right leg externally rotated. And then bring it back to center. So pull it in, let it rotate out, extend it out, rotate back to center. So continuing on with that movement, getting a little bit of movement and blood flow through your knee and your hip. And then see if you can reverse that motion. So externally rotate your right leg, bend your knee into half butterfly, bring your knee up to center, then extend straight out. So this can be just with your foot sliding along the floor. You don't have to use your core strength or your hip strength in order to let the leg be elevated and lifted. This is just kind of warming up here. Good. And then moving over to the left side, draw your left knee in, half butterfly, extend out with it externally rotated, and then come back to center. And noticing any differences between the right and the left, right? Even we notice it in our complex movements or our big deep stretches, but we also can notice this in some of our smaller, more simplistic movements too, right? When we're just kind of working through a simple range of motion. And not applying any judgment to any of those differences, but just kind of noticing what it is so that you can modify. Good. And see if you can reverse directions. So externally rotate, come into half butterfly, up to the center, and extend out. So just getting a little bit of movement through the lower part of the body. And you can continue to spread your toes, if that feels good for your feet, especially if you've been on your feet a lot, or it's just been too long since you've been able to get a foot massage. I know I'm in that boat for sure. All right, one more. Maybe noticing some of the muscles begin to turn on as we go through that range of motion. Good. And then coming into a cross-legged or butterfly position, once again, as we do a seated cat and cow. So here, bringing your hands to the front of your knees and grabbing a hold of your kneecaps so that you can get a little leverage for your spinal rocks. Then as you inhale, bring your heart forward, look up to the ceiling, rock forward to the pubic bone, and exhale, rock back past the sit bones, curve your spine, look down to the floor. And inhale, draw your heart forward, shoulders back and down, look up, and exhale to round. So you can continue on with the rhythm of your breath. And if it feels good, you can add in any additional movement that helps your spine warm up. Maybe you take a little bit of a barrel roll so that you can open up laterally and throughout the side body. Maybe use a little bit of extra movement through the shoulders. We will get to a little bit of shoulder warm up, but here's a nice way to kind of add in a little bit of a dynamic warm up for your shoulders. If you're barrel rolling, kind of making more of a circular motion, make sure to even out and do a few rounds in the opposite direction. And observe any areas that might be a little tight, that might need a little extra love today. And take one more of each. And coming back to neutral, extend your arms out to the sides and just draw some circles with your arms. Getting some blood flow through your arms and your shoulders. Good, up overhead, circling. Good, and change direction. And then bring down to shoulders and try to remember which direction you went before and change the direction. Good. Turn your palms up to the ceiling and just bend your elbows and touch your shoulders and open and close. So we're opening up energy channels within the body when we do all of these different movements of the joints. So this is an energy or body cleansing technique. It's a Kriya, as well as the Nadi Shodhana is another cleansing technique with the breath. Good. And then rolling your wrist, getting some movement through that joint. And opposite. Maybe just flex different directions. All right. Good. Now this one's kind of fun. Make a fist and open. Close and open. Open, close, open, close. Trying to go as fast as you can. And man, do you feel those in the forearms? This is a great one to work on arm balances and to help with like your hand strength for handstands, your grip strength. My hands start to move really slow after they get kind of tired, so kind of noticing differences between the right and the left. Where all you notice this. Good, and then shake it out. Let your hands relax down on your knees. Take an inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, drop your chin down to your chest. Let your head hang heavy. Let any random thoughts fall out of your third eye and down into the floor. Take your inhales into the mind space. And let your exhales soften your neck and shoulders. Once your neck and shoulders are relaxed, making half or full circles with your head. If you're choosing the first full circle, as you come to the back half, making sure to lift up and back, creating as much length in your spine as you can. So we're not compressing the vertebra, the disc is in the neck. Take your time. Remember, there's no rush. Giving yourself a chance to experience all of the sensations that come along with this movement. Feel the muscles of your face soften. As you come back to bottom center, pause there. Feel your head sink just a little bit lower. Bring your head back up to center. Now we're going to do something kind of fun, and luckily nobody else can see you, so you can be silly with me. We're going to scrunch up their face like you've just taken a bite of something really, really, really sour. So pursing your lips, squeezing your eyes nice and tight. Clench your jaw. Take a big inhale. On your exhale, open your eyes, open your mouth. Stick out your tongue, big sigh out. And inhale, scrunch your face. Tighten up all the muscles in your face. Exhale, lion's breath. One more. Scrunch up your face. Big inhale. And exhale, lion's breath. Good. Coming onto your hands and knees into tabletop. Having your blocks handy at the top of your mats, or whatever item you're using to bring height into your practice. Good. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Press into the mat with your hands. Lift your heart through your upper back to the ceiling. And pull your navel into your spine. Bottom ribs up and in. Extend your left leg long, bringing it to hip height, and point your toes down to the floor. Option to extend your right hand forward with your thumb up or your palm down, table balance. Now I want to keep pressing into the floor with your left hand. So you're pushing the floor away from you. Reach through your left heel and your right fingertips. And pull your ribs in just a little bit tighter. And once everything's locked in, if you like, trying to lift the top of your right foot up off the mat. Now embrace the wobble, it'll happen. But then we can feel all of those muscles at work to help us stay balanced in the center. Good, take an inhale and exhale, knee to elbow, round like you do in cat. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach long. Heel is at hip height. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach long. Release your right hand down to the mat. Exhale, fire hydrant, left knee towards left shoulder or left elbow. Good, inhale, reach long. Exhale, fire hydrant, option to extend straight out to the side. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, fire hydrants. Inhale, reach long, and release down to the mat. Lean your hips to the left, look over your right shoulder. Let your body weight press into the left hip joint. Inhale through center, exhale, lean right, look left. Come back to the center. Bring your knees to hip distance if they slid together. Extend your right heel long behind you, lifting up to hip height. Toes pointed down so the foot is dorsiflex, the toes are pulling up towards the shin. Option to extend your left hand forward for the other side. Now this is both strength and balance. So when we try to lift the top of the left foot up off the mat, we'll notice probably a difference between the right and the left. So just observe how that feels in comparison to the other side, where you might notice it a little bit more on this side. Last but not least, don't forget to breathe, right? Take an inhale, exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach long, exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach long, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach long, release your left hand down to the mat. Exhale, fire hydrant. Try not to lean too far to the left. Keep your hips stacked above your knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fire hydrant. Again, option to extend your foot all the way up to the side. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, fire hydrant. Last one, reach long. Exhale, fire hydrant. Inhale, reach long. Release into tabletop. Lean to the right, look left. If you'd like, trying to draw your left shoulder over towards your left hip. Come back to center. Lean left, look right. Right shoulder to right hip option. Come back into center and sit back into child's pose. Taking either closed knee or a wide knee variation. Your arms can be extended out in front of you, or they can rest back by your hips. Take a moment to breathe and to notice. See what's happening in your body right now. Next, we're going to go through a little bit of a modified vinyasa. We're just going to move through this in order to get the shoulders and the core to continue to warm up and to fire up. So bringing your knees to about hip distance in your child's pose. As you inhale, rock forward so your shoulders are above your hips. Your shoulders are above your wrist. Your hips drop down just a little bit. So it's not quite like tabletop where they're stacked above the knees. We try to get a nice line from shoulders to knees. Belly button pulled in, bottom ribs pulled in. Then hinge forward, pull with your hands. Lower all the way down into your belly. Elbows point to the wall behind you. Press into the tops of your feet. Pull with your hands like you're trying to drag your body forward. Elbows point to the back wall and shoulder blades squeeze together. Low cobra. Exhale, release back down. Pull your navel into your spine. Push up through modified plank and back into child's pose. And inhale, come forward, modified plank. Exhale, lower all the way down into your belly. Inhale, low cobra. Reach your tippy toes to the back of your mat. Lengthen out through your legs. Exhale, release back down. Inhale, push up through a plank. And exhale back into child's pose. Different option here. Come forward into modified plank. Lower all the way down onto your belly. Slide your hands out wide beyond the edges of your mat and point your elbows up to the ceiling. Come up onto your fingertips. Tent your hands. Press into your fingertips as you pull your heart forward. Keep pressing up. Lower back down. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders. Firm your core. Push up through plank. And back into child's pose. Take two more with the rhythm of your breath. The choice is yours on which cobra option you would like to take. Listen to your body. Allow your body to move with the rhythm of your breath. As you flow through the last round, when it's your time to come into child's pose, you can choose child's pose or meet me in downward facing dog. Curl your toes under, lift your hips high, upside down V, and begin to walk it out. Press your heart back to the space in between your legs. Lengthen your crown forward to the space in between your thumbs. Looking kind of maybe in the middle of your mat, or maybe back towards your shins, depending upon how your neck feels in this position. Slowly coming into stillness. Look forward to the top of your mat. Press into your hands. Lift your hips high. Come up onto tippy toes and tippy toe walk to the top of your mat. Pull your belly button in. Come up to flat feet, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Press, lengthen, reset your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Separate your feet out for ragdoll. So I want to be pretty wide on this one today. Maybe even out to mat distance. And we have the heels in and the toes slightly out. So take in just a slight variation here. Bring hands to opposite elbows or let your knuckles drag on the floor. You can even wrap your arms around the outside of your legs and interlace behind your knees. You can interlace your fingers behind your back and let your arms come over your head. Shake all of the random thoughts out of the top of your head. Make sure your neck is nice and relaxed. Take as much bend in your knees as you need for release in your low back so that your torso can hang heavy and we get a little decompression in the spine, a little bit of lengthening, allowing gravity to pull downward. Now, if this is a little bit too much today, bring your elbows to the top of your knees and just press into the top of your thighs as you lengthen your crown out. Your torso is probably about parallel to the floor then in this position. Again, still a big bend in the knees. Good. No matter what position you're in, drop your bottom down towards your heels into Malasana. So we might need a little bit narrower stance or a little bit wider, depending upon your body. You can sit on something, a block or whatever you're using for a block, or you can hover here and make it a lot more challenging by not just dropping all the way into the depth. Good. Then place your hands down on the floor, lift your booty up. Let your torso hang heavy back into ragdoll. Bring your hands to the floor. Option here to lift up onto the balls of your feet. You can kind of see here, lift up onto the balls of your feet, then drop your booty down low. Different variation of Malasana here. You might want to keep your hands on the floor in order to keep balance, or you can challenge yourself bringing your hands to heart center. Good. Bring your hands back down to the floor. Lift your booty up tall and drop your heels back down to the mat. Heel toe your feet together to wherever you like them for mountain. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, coming all the way up, reach up tall. Hands come down to heart center. Find a little bit of movement through your feet, rocking forward into your toes and back through your heels. Settling in the center, maybe even going outside to inside. And finding the big toe and little toe mound as well as your heel. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step back with your left foot into low lunge. Drop your left knee down to the mat. Inhale, sweep your arms up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, slide your hips forward, cactus arms. Inhale, slide back, reach up tall. And exhale, slide forward. Pull your elbows in towards your ribs, shoulder blades together. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, pull down. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, pull down. Come forward, frame your right foot. This is a really great place for your blocks. Begin to straighten your right leg into half splits. Here you might have to slide your foot a little bit forward so that your hip stays above your knee on the left side. You can sit all the way back though if that feels okay for you, or you can sit part way back. Your right foot can be flexed or the toes can be pointed, or you can go back and forth a little bit and see how that changes what you experience in the right leg. Keep at least a micro bend in your right knee to protect your joints. If you want a little bit of activation in this posture, press down into your right heel or act as if you're trying to drag it back towards your left knee. With each inhale, growing a little bit longer in your spine, and on your exhale, finding softness, which may allow you to bow at the hip crease and reach your heart forward towards your toes. Walk forward with your hands, bend back into your right knee. Lift your left knee coming into low lunge, then exhale, intense side stretch. So about the same pose, but our back foot is lifted, or our back knee is lifted. Here you can press your left heel down towards the mat, get a little bit of stretch in the left calf. Good, come forward into low lunge, press down into your right foot, take a quiet controlled step up into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, press and lengthen. Exhale, forward folds. Inhale, reverse swan dive, coming all the way up. Hands come down to heart center. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, heart reaches out. Exhale, forward fold. Step back with your left foot into low lunge. Drop your left knee down to the mat. Inhale, sweep your arms up, reach up tall. Exhale, slide forward, cactus arms. Pull your elbows in, shoulder blades together. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, slide forward. Continuing on with the rhythm of your breath. Feeling the backside of your body fire up as you pull the elbows into that low cactus and squeeze the backside body. Draw the shoulder blades together, or as if you're pulling on rubber bands attached to the ceiling. Good, 2 more. Then release your hands down to frame your right foot. As you exhale, begin to straighten your right leg. Again, toes can be pulled up towards your shin or pointed, and you can adjust depending upon where you would like your left hip. Being careful that if you sit back into a deep knee bend on the left side, that your knee isn't complaining too much. If you have knee pain, you'd want to bring your left hip back above your left knee. And you can also use some padding underneath of your left knee if you're experiencing some discomfort there. Option to allow that to fire up, pressing down or dragging back, or just being a little bit more passive with the stretch. Not really activating the muscles, but just allowing them to relax into it. Walk your hands forward, bend back into your right knee. Lift your left knee into low lunge. As you exhale, intense side stretch. Press back with your left heel. Good. Come forward into low lunge. Press down to your right foot. Take a quiet, controlled step up into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, coming all the way up. Hands come down to heart center. And inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold, soft bend in your knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step back with your right foot into low lunge. Inhale, sweep your arms up, crescent warrior. Exhale, bow forward, airplane arms. As you press back with your right heel, pull your belly button in, draw your shoulder blades back in together. Inhale, stand back up, reach up tall. And exhale, bow forward, reach to your fingertips. Palms down, thumbs to the outside. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, bow forward, press down into your left heel, stack your left knee above your left ankle. Inhale, sweep back up. Exhale, bow forward. Good. Inhale, sweep back up. Come forward, frame your left foot. Exhale, intense side stretch. Now if your hamstrings are opening up a little bit, you can pull your toes up towards your shin, resting on your left heel. Just be careful not to lock out your left knee. Inhaling to lengthen and exhaling to soften, maybe taking a little bit deeper. Good, come forward into low lunge, press down into your left foot, take a quiet controlled step up into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, coming all the way up. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, navel in. Exhale, fold. Step back with your left foot into low lunge. Inhale, sweep all the way up, crescent warrior. Exhale, bow forward, airplane arms. Inhale, reach back up. And exhale, bow forward. Remembering to fire up not only your abdominals as you continue with your breath, but also the backside of your body. Feeling those muscles that surround the spinal erectors, help to keep your spine supported and in that long neutral position. Shoulder blades squeeze together, fingertips reach. Last one, exhale, bow forward. Inhale, reach back up. Come forward, frame your right foot. As you exhale, straighten the right leg, intense side stretch. Again, toes up or down, your choice. Come forward into low lunge. Take a quiet controlled step up into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Reverse swan dive, coming all the way up. Hands come down to heart center. Good. Now I'm going to turn and face you for this next part. We're going to work on a little bit of balance today. So we're going to start with tree and just see how it goes. So we'll start on the left foot. Your hands can come to heart center, or you can extend out to the sides. Come up onto the tippy toes of your right foot or the ball of your right foot and rotate your right knee out to the right. Your right heel might come to your left ankle for a kickstand, and it can stay there. Or you can begin to slide your foot up your leg, resting your foot on your calf or your thigh, just as long as it's not right on your knee joint. You can also use a wall or a chair for a little bit of balance help if you'd like here. But think about building a strong foundation by actively pressing down into the left foot. And as you press down, we get the muscles to activate and wrap around the bones to give us a little bit stronger support. Now your hands can stay at heart center, or you can take any other hand placement that feels good for you. Extending up, let your branches grow, overhead prayer, a bind behind your back, low cactus, high cactus, whatever feels good for you here. Feeling the energy draw up through the upper half of your body and ground down through the lower half of your body. If you feel pretty solid, eyes can look up or your eyes can close. Remembering that anytime we change where our gaze is at, it's going to challenge our balance, no matter what pose we're in. Last but not least, don't forget to breathe. And bring your eyes forward, your hands back to heart center. Keeping your right foot lifted, bring your right knee in front of you up to hip height. One-legged mountain. Now we have 3 90-degree bends here, your ankle, your knee, and your hip. And we want to keep a nice vertical body position here. So I'm going to turn so you can see this. A lot of times people lean back to counterbalance the weight of the leg. I want your hips stacked directly above your left ankle, so that we're using the strength in the right hip and the abdominals to hold the leg in place, right? Spread your toes on your right side nice and wide. See if you can find a stretch by just using the muscles in your feet to spread your toes. Good. Now the left ankle's starting to burn, right? That's okay, right? We're building strength in those joints. Now you can stay here or bring your right knee out to the side, either just holding it in place with your hands at heart center, or bringing your right hand to the inside of your right knee, left arm out to the side. Kind of look like Captain Morgan, right? We can take the Gyan Mudra with the index finger and thumb together and the other 3 extended out. And your eyes might stay looking forward or look to the left, past your left fingertips, or again, you can close your eyes. I still haven't mastered that one. That gives me a lot of wobble. Keep breathing. Keep pressing down into the left foot, even though that ankle is fine. Bring your hands back to heart center, your right knee back to heart center, and release your right foot down to the mat. Roll out your left ankle. Take a little bit of movement through your left leg. Okay. And then we'll move over to the right side. So bring your weight into your right foot. Hands come back to heart center. Come up onto the left tiptoes or the ball of the foot. And just taking your time. Sometimes when we know where we're going, we rush it. We did it on the other side, so we know what we're doing next. But still taking your time to go step by step, knowing that your body is ready to move on to the next step, and we're taking it one at a time. Press down into your right foot. Feel the muscles wrap the bones and give you support. Press down through the lower half as you lift up through the upper half. We're getting energy in both directions, almost like we're spreading the body apart at the center. Feel your crown lifting, getting a little bit taller. Your branches might grow. You might take the same hand placement or a different one. This is both strength and balance, so we'll find some differences between the right and the left. And try to find a drishti point, an unmoving spot for your gaze to focus on. Because if your eyes are wandering around, most likely your mind is too. If your arms are raised, bring them back to heart center. As your left knee comes forward and through into one-legged mountain. Right? We try to notice whether we're leaning back into the heel of the right foot. Bring the weight even between the triangle of the right foot. Pull your navel in. Lift up and in at the bottom ribs. And feel the left hip flexor work. Might feel like it's tightening or like it's burning just a little bit. It's a muscle working, right? Part of our core strength in those hip flexors. Now again, you can stay in the center here or open out to the side. Keep the toes spread nice and wide. Now you can't really see my feet with my long pants on here. And the arms might join. Your hands might stay at heart center. Your eyes might stay forward or look to the right. Or you might close your eyes. Notice how the weight shifts. Notice what muscles work to help you stay balanced. Notice whether your breath stalls when we concentrate really hard. Find some ease in your breath. And maybe just a little bit of ease where tension isn't needed. Bring your eyes forward, hands back to heart center, left knee forward, going back down into mountain. Roll out your right ankle. Good. Then coming back to the top of your mat. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step back with your right foot into low lunge. Inhale, sweep up, crescent warrior. Exhale, bow forward, airplane arms. Inhale, sweep back up. Exhale, bow forward. 2 more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, tighten. Inhale, reach. And exhale, strong support through the core. Inhale, reach back up. Turn and open, warrior 2. Finding an even amount of weight between your right and left foot. Shoulders above your hips. Inhale, reverse warrior. Good. Exhale, warrior 2. Reach as far as you can forward with your left fingertips. Then release your left forearm down to the top of your left thigh, extended side angle. Nice straight line from fingertips all the way down to your right ankle bone. If you'd like to check your ribs here, you can place your right hand on the bottom of the right side of your ribs and kind of press down as you pull in with your core muscles. Now keeping that straight line down the right side torso, extend your right arm back up with your right bicep by your right ear. Good. Inhale, reverse warrior. Good. Cartwheel forward, frame your left foot, pivot on your right back into low lunge. And as you exhale, intense side stretch. Toes up or down, your choice. If you'd like a little bit bigger stretch and more balance, standing splits. So this one can be really intense in the hamstrings. Same things we're doing with the intense side stretch. Your hands can be on the floor or they can be lifted for a bigger balance challenge. The closer you drop your torso down towards your thigh, the more intense you'll feel. Good. Bring your right foot down to meet your left or step up into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Hands come down to heart center. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step back with your left foot into low lunge. Inhale, sweep up, crescent warrior. Exhale, bow forward, airplane arms. Inhale, sweep back up. Exhale, bow forward, eyes to the top of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bow forward. Good, last one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, reach back up, turn and open, warrior 2. So an even amount of weight between the right and the left foot. slight internal rotation of the back leg, of the left leg, and a little external rotation of the right thigh, finding some stability in your SI joints, in the back of your hips or your low back. Inhale, reverse warrior. Okay, come back into warrior two. Reach, reach, reach with your right fingertips. Take extended side angle. Now again, we can just use the core muscles or a little tactile awareness here to pull the bottom ribs down and in. Keeping that nice and tight there. Extending the left arm back up. Your elbow might rest on top of your thigh, or it might just come in and help to press open your right knee, using a little bit more core strength here. Good. Inhale, reverse warrior. Cartwheel forward, frame your right foot, pivot on your left, low lunge. Intense side stretch, or a standing splits. Probably choosing the same thing that you did on the opposite side. Even if you can't make the same depth, still trying to make it the same shape. So we try to work towards balance between the right and the left. Reach your crown out, away from your tailbone. Good. Release into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Separate your feet out, coming back down into Malasana, our nice deep squat, as we just transition into a seated position. Luckily, we don't have too far to fall if we're not so graceful in that transition. And then coming all the way down onto your back and having whatever you're using to reach your foot handy, your strap. As you come down onto your back, draw both knees into your chest. That might be with them together, or it might be wide. And you can find a little bit of stillness, or you can find some movement, giving your low back a massage, rolling around in a circle, a figure 8, or just from side to side. Good. Keep your left knee drawn in and place your right foot on the mat. Your knee might be bent or your leg might be extended all the way out. Then extend your left foot up to the ceiling with your strap around the bottom of your foot. Take both ends of the strap into your left hand. Extend your right arm straight out to the right to counterbalance. And on your exhale, let your left leg come up into the left. Now, if your right knee is bent, you can kind of open that one into a half butterfly. It gives us a little bit different experience throughout the hips and the pelvis. It also helps to kind of counterbalance the weight of the left leg coming out. You can use just the abdominal strength and keep it centered, or if you're extended out, we try to keep the right hip anchored down to the mat. So what other option feels good for you today? Keep a micro bend in your left knee and continue to breathe. See if you can find a little bit of softness in your exhales where tension isn't needed. See if you're clenching your jaw or your shoulders are tight. Let them smooth up against your mat. Just using your grip strength to hold the strap in place rather than scrunching up your shoulders. Good. Use your abdominals to come back to center, maybe on the exhale. Bring the strap into your right hand. Exhale into half happy baby. So kind of first externally rotate through the left thigh and then bring the knee out beyond the left side ribs. Now, if your hamstrings or hips or low back are really tight, take a big bend in your left knee and we can stay here and we can get just as much benefit here. Or you can try to open the bend in your left knee, maybe coming closer to 90 degrees, maybe a little bit beyond. Again, your right leg can be in half butterfly, can just be bent and pointed to the ceiling or extended out, right? Each thing is going to give you a little bit different experience. And it's kind of about exploring what is right for your unique body. Now you can open and close the bend in the knee, or you can just stay in a stationary position, hold and breathe. Extend your left foot back up to the ceiling. If your right leg isn't extended out, probably want to do that right now. On your exhale, let your left leg come across your body into revolved hand to big toe or kind of an extended leg spinal twist. right? Left arm extends out to counterbalance. And depending upon how your neck feels, your eyes might look up to the ceiling or over to the left. Arm can also be in cactus if that feels better. Keep as much bend in your left knee as you need, or let it come down towards your right foot if it's a little too intense. A lot of different modification options here to make it more comfortable and accessible to serve your body rather than to be painful and really not get too much out of it. And exhale back to center using your abdominals. Release your strap. Take both knees back into your chest. Notice the difference between the right and the left. And keep your right knee drawn in. Place your left foot on the mat. Again, your knee can be bent or your leg can be extended. Place your strap over your foot, extend up to the ceiling. We take both ends of the strap into the right hand, counterbalance with the left, and exhale as you open out to the right. Again, same options here, right? We might take half butterfly and experience a little bit of different sensations through the left hip. It's a little bit more of a passive stretch rather than actively having to engage through the pelvic floor and the abdominals in order to keep your left hip anchored on the mat. If your left leg is extended out, sometimes if we engage and reach through the left leg, let the muscles squeeze around the bones, it helps to anchor that left heel or that left hip. So whatever speaks to you today on this side. Exhale back up to the center. Bring the straps into your right or left hand. Externally rotate, then coming into half happy baby. And we can start with a really big bend in the knee. Then as we release on the next exhale, maybe try to open the bend in the knee. Or maybe just stay there. This is one where we might find a big difference between the right and the left. I'm just kind of working with what your body is able to do. If we try to force it into different positions, it resists to help to protect itself. So we're not really doing any good. So watch the rhythm of your breath, or if it feels a little labored, if you're breathing really hard, might be pushing a little too hard. Allow your body to ease into it. Extend your right foot back up to the ceiling. Extend your left leg out if it isn't already. And exhale as you roll into your revolved hand to big toe. Take a big inhale into your right hip. And exhale, send it out down your right leg and out the right heel. Exhale back into center. Release your strap. Take both knees in towards your chest. Hug your nose up to your knees. Give yourself a nice big hug. I know we're at a hug deficit, so try to give yourself a big, big, big hug. Then reach along, finding a big, full body good morning stretch. And release into the position of your choice for final relaxation. Shavasana. As we take these final few moments to observe what our practice did for our body and what our practice did for our mind. Now, sometimes this can be the hardest part of our practice. Be kind to yourself. If you struggle with stillness, you struggle with keeping your mind in the present, you're not alone, I promise. Some days are much, much easier than others. Some days it's blissful, and some days it's just pure torture. See if, no matter what you're experiencing right now, you can just sit with it and observe how you feel in this moment. Allow yourself this time to relax your body and relax your mind. Feel the breath as it comes in and out of your body. Maybe just a small moment of gratitude for the breath, life energy. If you wish, revisiting your intention for class today. Take a nice, big, deep inhale. And exhale, let it go. You may stay in your fun of relaxation. Today it's blissful. Please feel free to stay as long as you'd like. You're ready to move on with the rest of your evening. Bring a little bit of wiggle into your fingers and toes. Slowly roll onto your side. Finding a few breaths in the supported fetal position. Still allowing your mind and your body to relax and be in the present instead of shifting onto what's coming next. See if you can stay here. And use your hands to help press you up into seated. And keeping your eyes closed. Bring your hands together in a prayer position. Bring the knuckles of your thumbs to third eye to honor kind thoughts. Bringing them down to your lips to honor kind words. And finally to your heart center to honor kind intentions. So bow the thinking mind to the seat of the light and the love within each of us. I honor the light and the love that is in each and every one of you because it is the same that flows within me. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Namaste.